Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm teacher Rosalina from MUETtutorial.com. I'm a MUET teacher teaching the Form 6 students in the state of Malacca. In this video, we are going to be looking at one of the questions in the MUET Writing Question paper, and that is Writing Question 2. Writing Question 2 is a reflective essay. You will be allocated 50 minutes out of the 75 minutes given for the whole of the writing paper. And the maximum marks that you can get for writing question 2 is 60 marks. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so in this video, we'll be looking at the content points and how to develop our content points. The topic chosen for today is academic excellence. We are going to first of all read and understand the question, after which we are going to be looking at two ways of responding to the statement given in the question. Next, we are going to come out with content points to support our views, and also the elaborations that is going to be supporting our views. So this is how writing question 2 is going to look like. Let's first of all read and understand the question. During a career day held in school, a guest speaker made this comment in his speech: "Employers only look for academic excellence when hiring." Your teacher then asked you to write an essay expressing your opinion on this view. Write at least 250 words, 60 marks. Let me just talk to you about the question. For writing question 2, to make it sound more authentic, a situation will be given. For instance, in this particular question, it is a career day at school, and a guest speaker who came to give a speech made a comment. So in other questions, perhaps the situation would be a little bit different, as it could be something like your school counselor giving a speech or a science teacher talking about an environmental issue. And all these people will be making a one-sentence claim on something, and that one statement claim is going to be written in such a way that it is going to be inviting some level of discussion. That is going to be the topic of your essay. For this question, the task that you will need to fulfill is for you to write an essay expressing your opinion on these statements. You'll be writing an essay in continuous writing of more than 250 words. Let's first of all understand the question. Employers only look for academic excellence when hiring. So employers here would mean the people or the company who are going to hire a future employee. When you talk about academic excellence here, you'll be talking about someone's academic achievement. It's going to be talking about the high grades that the person has achieved during their studies in school or during their tertiary education. They would have performed very well in their studies, and that would include getting a high GPA, being part of the dean's list, and being a first-class honors student, perhaps. And in this statement, it is saying that these employers are only going to hire people who are excellent in their studies to come and work for them. Before we go any further, I need to point out a couple of things here. First of all, I think students need to be careful as not to get academic excellence mixed up with simply holding a diploma or a degree. You would need to understand that here the question is talking about a person that not just has a diploma or a degree, but with excellent results. The second thing I would like to point out is that you should be careful not to write in such a way that suggests and giving the impression that people who do not have academic excellence lacks intelligence, because this is certainly not true. Let's move on and look at what examiners will be looking for in your writing. First of all is clarity. You need to be clear when writing. Your writing too must show some maturity of thought. It should be able to show your ability to voice out your opinion. There need to be some evidence of low frequency words, meaning a wide use of vocabulary related to the topic, and of course the writing fulfills the task. So for this topic, we are going to look at two ways to respond to the question. The first is when you totally support the statement that employers do only look for academic excellence when hiring. And the second response is when you partially agree to the statement. To partially agree means you do not totally agree to what is being said. It means that you see that there is some sense that the employers will only look for academic excellence, but at the same time, they'll be looking for some other qualities in the employee that they would like to hire. So after reading the topic and understanding what the question wants, you must then make up your mind on whether you totally agree to this statement or that you partially agree to this statement. So let's move on to the first response when you totally agree to this statement. When you totally agree to this statement, you are saying that yes, employers do only look for academic excellence in future employees that they want to hire. All the content points and elaboration that come after this will be supporting your view and agree that academic excellence is what employers are looking for when hiring future employees. So this is the first content point to support your view. Academic excellence, especially in tertiary education, shows that the person is an expert in their field. So here you're going to mention about the people who possess academic excellence in tertiary education would mean that they would be an expert in their field. Tertiary education here would mean that the education that comes after school level education, that includes the studies in university, college, and also vocational studies. So you're saying here, if the person excels in their studies during their tertiary education, they are said to be an expert in their field of studies. This is one reason why employers look for excellence in a person's studies, is because of this level of expertise as shown by their exam results. So the elaboration for this would be something like this. You are going to first of all describe who these people that you mean who have this academic excellence. So these are the people who have achieved very high GPA, which is the grade point average during their studies. This also include the person who is a graduate with a first-class degree, or they are part of the dean's list. Secondly, you will stress that the fact that certain profession demands a person to have attained a high academic achievement. These are such as the more technologically demanding occupations, like being a computer programmer, for instance. Also, a person is going to be filling up the post as a specialist in their field. So these are the type of jobs that is going to demand a person to have excelled in their studies. These jobs require specialized knowledge, because otherwise the effect of employing someone not suitable for the job would be damaging for the company. Now let's move on to the second content point. Great academic achievement shows that the person is very hardworking. So here you're going to say that a person who has achieved academic excellence says a lot about their character. This is because the person who excelled in their studies would be a person who is very hardworking. Let's look at the elaboration that we can use for the content point. So first of all, you can mention that academic excellence is not easy to achieve as it will require a lot of hard work. Hard work here would mean both physically and mentally, where the person would be putting in a lot of work, like working in the library perhaps. Or it may also include staying up very late at night when everybody else is already asleep. This would then be done over a long period of time because academic success doesn't come by very easily. So here it shows resilience, that the person is able to cope with the hardships. Resilience here means that you are able to get over any difficulty very quickly. So it shows the strength of character. A person who has academic excellence also is ready to work hard and give it all. The kind of person that is sought after by employers who would want these people to be working for them. You can read the sample paragraphs for all the 3 content points in my blog. Do click the link below to see how I've written these points in complete paragraphs after this video to gain more understanding. Now let's move on to the 3rd content point and let's read this together. Achieving academic excellence shows the person is very driven. So what is the meaning of driven? Driven here would mean that the person is very highly motivated to achieve success. So again, here it talks about the person's character and the person's personality, which is talking about it in a positive way. Let's look at the elaboration for this. So when you say that the person who has academic excellence is very driven, you can say that achieving academic excellence reflects the person's character in a positive way. It shows that the person has the energy and the drive to succeed in their studies, and because they are driven for success, they have determination. Determination here means you are focused to get something and your heart is filled with wanting to achieve it. You are very firm in getting what you want and you have a purpose, which is to achieve academic excellence. So this person would be ready, perhaps, to sacrifice their time, energy, money, and also make emotional sacrifice where they will put aside their feelings and perhaps their relationships too to attain the goal, which is to achieve what they want. This criteria of aiming for one main goal and trying very hard to achieve it is something that employers will want to see in their employees, and because of this, they would want you to work for them as they feel that this quality would certainly benefit their establishment. There is an important point that I would like to make here, and it is this. You need to link all the content points, which are the reasons why employers look for academic excellence, and to link it with how this will be good for the company if they were hired. Make this clear when you are writing your essay. And so that completes our first response, in which we totally support the statement that employers only look for academic excellence when hiring. Now let's move on to another type of response that you can decide to have, which is to partially agree to this statement. So when you partially agree to the statement, you are going to say, yes, the employers do look for academic excellence, but they also look for other qualities as well. So academic excellence is what they want in their future employee, but at the same time, they would need to look for something else when hiring. So after saying this, of course, you would need to be making your point of view clear on why you are saying this. Provide situations that would see the employers going for something other than academic excellence. So let's move on to the first content point. Apart from academic excellence, employers look for job experience. So you can say that apart from looking for a person's academic achievement, employers will be looking for experience in the job that they are seeking. Job experience here would mean that the person would have some kind of practice in that type of job before that. This perhaps could be gained from the previous job that the person had, or it was a job that they had during their internship or industrial training during their tertiary education. So having any kind of experience in the job that they are looking for is going to benefit them, because this is what the employer would want the future employee to have. So let's look at some elaboration for this point. First of all, you can say that there are some jobs out there that demands a person to have a certain number of years of experience. This could be seen in the criteria in the job description, where the employers would list the number of years experience that is needed for the person to have before applying for the post. Secondly, a person who has some kind of job experience, you're going to say, will show that the person has had the chance to learn in real life situations regarding the job that they are applying. So why is this important? You can say that they may be able to handle certain matters well due to the hands-on and in-service training that they have come across. Employers would want to employ people with job experience because there would be less training needed for them after they are employed. So you are going to link again before ending the paragraph that what employers are looking for apart from academic achievement is some kind of work experience regarding the job. Let's move on to the second point for this type of essay, where you partially agree to the statement. Employers also look for language proficiency. So for these content points, you are going to say that employers do look for some kind of academic achievement, but at the same time, they will be looking for language proficiency as well. So what is the meaning of language proficiency? Language proficiency means the ability for someone to use a certain language well with a level of accuracy that is going to allow them to voice out their opinion in a clear way. So for these content points, you are going to say that employers do put a certain amount of importance for an employee that they are going to be hiring to have certain level of language proficiency, and that this is very important for them. Let's now look at the elaboration for this point. So for the elaboration, you can say that certain jobs require certain level of language proficiency. You can say that language proficiency is to be able to communicate well in a language, and is very important to ensure that the person could communicate and engage in a confident manner with co-workers perhaps. This is even more so when the company is working with companies from overseas, which brings us to the second point for the elaboration, where you can say that there are certain companies that are from monolingual countries. Monolingual countries mean the countries that are using only one language for communication basically. These countries are such as China, Japan, Spain, and Russia, to name a few. So when engaging in a business communication with companies from these monolingual countries, it will require a person to be able to speak the language first of all, and to be able to speak it well. This is so that the business meeting and business transaction will be done in a very clear and professional way. Which brings us to the next point, as you can say that successful business transactions will be able to avoid any missed opportunities. Missed opportunities means that there are certain opportunities that you can get in the business, but the company will miss out on it because of certain kind of miscommunication that happens. So this is why language proficiency is put as a very important criteria when an employer is hiring someone. It is for the sustainability of the company, that is so that the company will continue to grow. Now let's move on to the third content point for this partially agree essay. Soft skills are also sought after by employers. Soft skills here mean a person's interpersonal skills, which is talking about the way that the person communicates with another person and how they handle certain situations. This include their problem-solving skills and their general work ethics, just to name a few. So possessing these soft skills is what employers are looking for, apart from having very good grades during their studies. Let's look at the elaboration for this point. The elaboration for this, you can start with saying that very good interpersonal skills are very important in the workplace as mentioned earlier. Next is having soft skills would mean that the person would have the ability to handle stressful situations at work. Next, you can say that the person with soft skills would work well in a team, and this will determine a positive work environment. And lastly, you can say that having soft skills makes someone more successful in the workplace. So all these soft skills are something that the employers will be looking for apart from being excellent in their studies. So these are the two ways where you can respond to the topic of employers only look for academic excellence when hiring. I would advise you to go further and practice writing out these content points in 3 different paragraphs. You can use the 3 content points for each type of response that I have given with the elaborations, or you can use your own points and your own elaborations if you want to. I have also added a complete sample of this essay from the introduction, content points, and conclusion in my website. So do click the link below and read the sample essay that I have prepared. If this video has helped you in some way, then give me a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, because it is going to help me develop more videos after this. Also, I would be very glad if you could leave a comment in the comment section saying that you have subscribed to my channel, because I would be very glad to see who you are. This video ends here, and I will see you soon in the next video.